All right, so hello everyone. It's Leo here. And I have great news, you guys. Amico is coming out still. And soon you can buy controllers for the Intellivision home app thing, probably claimedly, allegedly, or however you call that. It's going to be hard to read on screen. I'm going to read it out loud for you. There are multiple things going on here. It can, you know, I got the information. I don't know how widespread that information is that Intellivision Amico actually has a Discord server, an official Discord server, one I think where, I mean, apparently John Alvarado is in that. And so Retro Bro apparently also joined in and he was making a comment. And that's what I'm going to read now. Is Retro Bro again commenting on, as far as I understand, the Intellivision Amico Discord. And he's responding to John Alvarado. Because John Alvarado previously wrote, "We have considered a crowdfunding campaign for controllers. Unfortunately, it would most likely be savaged and sunk by the very active group of detractors that sank our Start Engine campaign. So that is not on the table for now." Which is a very, very interesting take, right? I mean, uh, yeah, and it's true, and I think it's true. I think it probably. I don't think they would have gotten the 5 million they wanted from Start Engine, no matter what, because I mean, where would they get the traction to do that, right? But I think they would have gotten something. But it was the detractors who were willing to read the SEC filings and get a lot of information about the company and put that information out there. It's just what it is, and that campaign then didn't work out, and it's just interesting to see the way these people will talk about these things, because what he says is basically, you know, that the haters, whatever, destroyed their campaign. But just the notion, right? I don't want to. I didn't. I wasn't planning to go so serious into this, but just the notion that people are not going to invest in a good investment because some some random some random retard online said, you know, that you shouldn't invest in television because we hate Tommy Tallarico or something like, it's like, dude, people were going to invest in stuff. Even if it's like, oh, look, they're grounding babies to make dog food, but they do that in Africa. And so they can get away with it for whatever reason, right? And if people think that's going to make them money, they're going to invest in it. They don't care. Nobody cares. Okay. So the notion that anybody would be dissuaded to make a good investment, a financial good investment, right? Because of some haters online is so absurd. But of course, what he's saying is the truth. Is the truth, right? The detractors destroyed the thing because the detractors just read the SEC filings and the conditions of the thing and made it abundantly clear that if you put any money into that start engine thing, you would not see any money back, which is the truth about any of these things. And they already got $11 million, which is much less than that. They got some $7-10 million. I don't know how much they got. They have already wasted a lot of that in things that are accounted for and are not really fair ways to use the money, but are not that fraudulent. I mean, they lost $1 million just to the manufacturing company. That's the level of incompetence is rampant, but I don't think it's just incompetence. Again, doesn't even matter. Even the retro bro here can you know explain that properly to John. To be fair, Intellivision ran multiple funding campaigns and raised a ton of money. I didn't think the Start Engine was hijacked by. I don't think that. Sorry. I don't think the Start Engine was hijacked by critics, therefore the downfall. I think it had more to do with Intellivision not being able to enter manufacturing with the millions previously raised. If I was an investor, I wouldn't put forth any money with that kind of track record. Just my opinion, if I'm being honest. Which again, that's basically what it is, right? I mean, this you have a company that made a crowdfunding that got $10 million and they can't even release the console or get any timelines or anything. Uh, so why would you give them 5 more million, right? That is really bad. And John responds with, I'd like to hear your opinion of Amico Home and Games and what we can do to succeed with this product. Let's agree to disagree on the past. He disagrees. He doesn't think that Intellivision has a bad track record. There is not here. Okay, debating it here is not conductive to the purpose of this community. It's not the purpose of this community is just stealing money from the Intellivision fucking retards, right? Like the old guys were too stupid to see the writing on the wall everywhere, and just keep grabbing money from them. I'm particularly interested in your results with Amico Home on NVIDIA Shield. I just published an update on Amico Home and Missile Command app that I think will make them visible on the Shield App Store. Fingers crossed, because that's all he can do, right? He can cross his fingers. He can't buy one or just know that it's gonna work because they tested it themselves. He needs the retro bro to test the thing in the Nvidia Shield TV. Oh my god, the level again, the level, and he wants money. He wants people to give him money with this level of sheer incompetence that he displays. So that's the freaking conversation being had here. Um, well, so the crowdfunding campaign seems to be off the table, which I say is a good thing. I don't think they should be crowdfunding anything after they got $10 million. Get the money that you got already and manufacture the controllers and sell them. But you're gonna lose money with anything you manufacture because everything you do is garbage, and so uh, everything they do is gonna fail. So they need all the money up front so that they keep not doing anything. And there's another one. I hid the name of this person. I think this is a retweet or something. This guy is writing here that he got a message from Intellivision. I'm gonna go first read this and then read what that guy said. But I don't know who Nick V is. Is this Nick Richards? I don't understand that very well. And this is I don't have any proof that this is even proper, that this is true, right? I can't confirm this, but let's read this interesting message here. So, with regards to the console, the launch of Amico Home is the first step in our release plan. We are currently working through finalizing changes to ensure the Amico hardware controllers work with the various versions of Amico Home and the Amico console. As a next step in the launch process, we are planning on releasing the Amico hardware controllers, hopefully sometime in the early to mid-summer 2024 timeframe. If all goes well with our financing, we are working towards starting the initial shipments of the Amico console special edition bundles prior to the 2024 holidays. So, if this is Nick Richards, who is this? Uh, so he's still promising to release an Intellivision Amico controller, right? Sorry, the console. They are still pretending they're gonna release the console. And so let me try to do this correctly and not show the name of that person. And the conclusion the guy gets to is, "Wow, someone from Intellivision replied to my email. Looks like I may be getting my Amico console after all. Yeah, in 2024, like in a year from now, and you somehow still care." And this is so funny. Yeah, I don't like bashing mentally ill people online and stuff like that. So I'm not gonna show the name of that person, you know, because it's just terrible. But yeah, apparently they're still trying to. I was afraid of that a while back, when I was a year ago, probably, when I was saying that I was gonna go after a DJC as long as he kept promoting this scam, this obvious investment scam, and that I was gonna make videos like daily of him, pointing out the fact that he was collaborating with the scam, until he just stopped and admitted whatever, because I was worried that these guys were gonna get someone again hooked up one more time and would steal more money from people. But you know, I'm a more relaxed guy. I touched grass, and after I touched grass, I learned that you know whoever uses the gaming community for nefarious purposes, that's fine. I mean, who cares, right? I mean, I'm not an investor. I'm not the FTC. I'm not the FBI. I'm not, I'm not the police. So let them steal money on the backs of the retro gaming community. That's what they all do, right? I mean, that's what Wada does. That's what Metal Jesus does, and John Hancock, and whatever. Now there are new stuff that this whatever guy was doing. Um, what there were like these streams for charity, and then he didn't give the money, but then he gave the money. I don't even know. I don't even care. Charities are all. Let me tell you this, okay? Charities are all a scam. They're all a scam. It's all people stealing your money. They will give some money to whatever the crap it is, right? But they'll steal the money. Okay, they pay themselves before they pay any fucking charities. I have worked for a charity for free. I actually done work for a charity for free because I'm that retarded, right? Everybody knows I'm a shithead. Um, but and, until at some point I learned that I was the only guy working at that charity who was not making any. That's not even the reason I left, um, but I did leave. Um, but yeah, it was not very nice to realize. I was like, oh yeah, all these people, and all this stuff, and there's all this money coming in. But these people are all pocketing, right? I mean, these charities, they all have like people who work for them, right? Like there are secretaries, and there are people who do cleaning, and there are people who do this and do that, and they rent a place, and it all goes from the money of the charity. So if you have, like, example, you have a charity that has fucking whatever, they're gonna give food to children in Africa, okay? Well, the first thing they need to do is rent an office, and pay a bunch of salaries for a bunch of people who do bureaucratic work, and all those people are going to be paid to do the bureaucratic work. Okay, so first the money goes there before it ever even starts thinking of going anywhere else. Okay, and then after they've gotten all their private jets and all their fucking, you know, all their fucking people working for them, and their offices, and their company cars and everything like that. Then they take the little money that's left from that, and they pay someone to go to Africa to give some money to those children over there. Okay, most of the money just gets funneled into people's pockets. That's why they do it. They don't do it because they care about people in Africa, because they don't. They just want to funnel money to their pockets, and that's how these things work. So no, I don't have proof of that. I just know people. I'm old enough to understand people, and that's how this stuff works. Sure, if there is like a dog shelter, around the corner, because that that you can go there and see what they do, and you like what they do, and you're grateful for what they do, then you can do that, right? But don't just give your money to these charities, whatever, or do you, man. Do whatever you want. I don't care. Okay, that's what this rant's about. That's just explaining my extreme changing position. If you want to buy I'm all for it, man. I think Intellivision should put these controllers on Kickstarter and let people who want to buy them on Kickstarter put them like for $350 each controller, because I think that's what's going to cost them to make them. And the amounts that they produce and the level of incompetence that they have. But people are going to buy them because they're going to be super rare, right? You're even going to scalp them because they scalp anything that's garbage nowadays. So then they get some money and some traction to show investors like, oh, hey, if you give us like more millions, then we can manufacture some consoles, and then they can manufacture a couple dozen more consoles that 3D print and ask PCBWay for more boards, and John Alvarado can put them together for another batch of freaking shill consoles to send to some whoever idiot online who wants to shill for this thing and just keep this going. I can't I don't even know what to say. I don't even have anything. I think sorry, this if you want to watch on my channel, this has to be funny in itself, okay? If you need my voice to be funny or something, or for me to crack some whatever joke, okay? Um I sorry, I can't because this is too funny. This is too good, and I can't stop any of this stuff that's happening. I can't argue anything with any of these guys, okay? and and that's what it is. But I just wanted to show this short update that actually Intellivision is still quote unquote working right on this stuff. It's quote unquote because they're what are they working on? Are they working on? Yeah, Alvarado is probably working on changing the processor in the controllers and making it Wi-Fi compatible so it can connect over Wi-Fi um, to the cell phones, so that it can work both with the cell phones and with the Amico, because it's, or maybe they're changing the freaking app to connect the controllers over Bluetooth, as they probably do with the console, so that it's all, because right now they're doing two different things, right? The controllers need to be connected over sorry, uh, cell phones that connect to the app, to home Amico Home, they connect over Wi-Fi, and the Amico controllers connect over Bluetooth. So how do you unify that, right? You need to have one standard for everything so that they can release these controllers, or maybe make the controllers compatible with two standards. And all of that under the premise that for some reason there is not couch co-op anymore, right? That kids cannot go into the same room and play together. While literally right now, my daughter is sitting in her bedroom together with a friend, and they're playing video games together. It's, I mean, it's, I, what are we supposed to explain or talk about, right? I mean, yeah, I have no arguments. I have no, and it's very good that I don't care that this community is this disgusting. That people who defend this, they can stay around the community, right? Just like people who steal money, people who shill for garbage and manipulate prices for their own benefit, and again, just generally speaking, create garbage content on YouTube and ask money for it. People like DJ Slopes, who fraudulently pretended that he made videos on scams, and then when the biggest scam and the biggest fraud in the gaming industry ever comes along, the guy actually supports it, gives it a platform, does a 2 hour long interview with Tommy Tallarico just about his fucking fraudulent career without fact checking anything the guy said. And then he wants to come around pretending that he covers fucking scams and that he calls out scams when he actually helped the biggest scam ever and the biggest fraud ever that no one, I don't think you can bring up anyone in the gaming industry who's the biggest fraud in Tommy Tallarico, and this guy was wetting his fucking pants um, in this interview saying about how he likes the guy's music that's, you know, most is not his, but what is just some garbage. I believe that that idiot likes that music actually because that's his level of intellect, and he just stays around. It's just all cool, no problems, you know. Um, yeah, this is what this community is, and all these people who shield for this garbage and still shield for this garbage. John Riggs, John Riggs came out with this fucking video about the empty cardboard boxes, and he didn't just come this, you know, call this out blatantly as a scam of a console, you know. And then after it happens and the console is not released years after they sold the games, like I never seen him come out and say, "Oh, listen, sorry that I promoted a scam and I sold these empty boxes to you guys. You know, if you bought these empty boxes, send them to me. I'll send you the money back for them because it's all my fault if anyone bought any of these garbage, right? This was a facade, this was a fake company, this is a scam." No, that he just ignores it. It's not his fault, right? I mean, just because he promoted it and sold them on his channel, it doesn't mean that if you bought them, that it's his fault. It's not his fault. It's your fault for being a fucking idiot. You know, you're retarded. You bought this fucking scam. Now fuck you. And still go to his channel, to John Riggs' channel, and keep giving him money for this garbage that he does, right? It's not about. I have nothing. You know, there's all these people like, oh, e-bagging this, e-bagging that. You actually e-bag fucking go, you know, suck some dick, you fucking morons. You know, who cares about fucking e-bagging? It's just that all these, not all of them, but there's a lot of these people, what they do is garbage, right? They have no quality of content whatsoever. They just, what they do is negative, right? All their the reviews and everything else, they're not it, they don't educate their public on anything. They're not actual reviews. They're just shilling for trashy products. But then you're supposed to pay them for them to 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 shill for those garbage products. And, you know, it's not their fault. Again, it's not their fault. They're in the right. They should e-bag, you know, they should ask for money. And if there are people out there who are stupid enough to give money to obvious scammers like DJ Slopes and DJ C and Mike Mullis and, you know, uh, what's the metal Jesus, and, you know, if you're stupid enough to give them money, then you don't deserve to have any money. Why do you have any? How did you even make any money if you're this fucking stupid? Is this fucking, you know, uh, welfare money that you get, that you give these people? Can you work? Like, I don't know how someone this fucking stupid who would give metal Jesus money, Patreon money, like, what do you work like? I don't know what you could do. You can't hammer a fucking nail to a wall if you're this fucking dumb, you know, because it's much easier to just look at Metal Jesus' reviews, quote unquote, of fucking garbage and see that that's all trash and that he's just fooling you. It's much easier to see that than fucking hammer a nail to a wall. Way easier, right? It's way more obvious how that works. So yeah, I think the world is pretty fair in that sense. I think YouTube is a pretty fair place. I mean, people who don't, you know, who don't have any common sense, which apparently is most people, seeing the numbers generally speaking, right? Yeah, they get scammed by douchebags. So I think it's, and in television again, like, it's the lowest of the lowest of all these scams. It's the most obvious one, right? And I mean, anyone who falls for it, be it an investor, oh, but they lied and this and that. Yeah, they lied about what was that guy? The Xbox guy. I forget the names, dude. And I've been away from this crap, you know. But you know, you really think that they weren't throwing that name around? You didn't take a look. You didn't ask. Like, yeah, you lost your money. You know, it's your fault. Even if they lied, sure. I mean, they lied. They should go to jail, but they won't because who's gonna put them in jail? Who's responsible for putting scammers in jail? It's also a bunch of scammers. So as long as you do the scams within the rules of scamming, it's, you know, sure, yeah, okay, the Xbox guy thing was a little bit outside of the rules, but they already corrected that in one document at one place there and whatever. And it's only a $10 million that got stolen, and that's nothing. You know, what do you think? What do you think that these other big scams steal every year? Do you think it's 10 millions that they steal? You know, all those charities that people donate to, do you think they steal a couple million? Do you think they steal 10 million, 100 million? Dude, wake up, right? Wake up. Yeah, I mean, if it's not a billion, it's you know, it's nothing. So yeah, I guess that's it, man. In television, still it's still going on, right? And that's all fine. And just let them do their thing, right? I mean, who are us to tell them what they're allowed or not allowed to do? Let them do their thing. If people want to buy Amicos and buy empty boxes and buy controllers that don't work and pay $15 for utter trash, garbage, shovelware. It's not even shovelware. Like shovelware cringes whenever someone calls an Amico game shovelware. You know, the people what is that? People who did Flash Player. There is a company that does that. They're gonna fucking sue you if you keep saying that Amico games look like Flash games. Okay, because Flash is it's kind of gone now. Flash, it's we now we use other things like Java and HTTP, HTML something, HTML5. I don't even know. Um, but Flash is kind of being phased out. But they still should sue anyone who says that these games look like Flash games because that's really terrible. You know, a terrible offense towards Flash technology and Flash games and everything like that. Yeah, this it is what it is, man. I just you know I just think that if anything ever, right? If people wanna even be able to talk about these things, the bar would have to be raised, like from the pits of the bottom of the ocean to, you know, above sea level, because the bar right now for the entire gaming community thing, right? It is again in the depths of the abyssal, you know, abyssal holes in the ocean, right? And again, it would have to be raised above seawater level. Like you'd have to do positive. It would have to be like good, right? Like more than nothing for it to be even considered a thing, right? For a YouTuber to be even considering opening a Patreon, his influence on the community should be a positive one, not a negative one. It should be better if he made a video and not worse if he made a video. But most people who have a Patreon, every single video that they do, like these DJ Slopes videos, right? It would be better if the video did not exist over it existing. So why would you give him money for him to do? And then you even do his work for himself. And then he just fucks it up and puts a video up there and you guys pay for it. You know? Uh, so yeah, so when the bar is, you know, above zero and not minus 9,000, then I'll start talking about this shit again seriously, right? And I will repeat the one thing that I always said about all this. None of this actually matters because, unlike what Intellivision wants to make you believe, that are all games, all the time. Okay? E King was just playing, uh, what was it? Run and Jump Man or something like that? A new Atari game that looks like to be a good one for Atari 2600, right? There's still people making games even for those consoles, and most of them are garbage. Someone was talking about that, and that's true. I think it was even Albert Menendez was talking about like that always awakening thing. I played that game. It's not good. It's not a good game. It's very mediocre. A lot of people are making these homebrew games, selling them for um, selling for money. I'm not against that. I don't think it's a scam, but a lot of these games are not good. You have to make a homebrew game. I mean, you don't have to make one. I'm all for people making a homebrew game, but if you know, like if it's not a good game, it's not a good game, and it's not worth buying just because it's on a Mega Drive. Um, what was the name of that game? There was a Hazard game, something Hazard. It's not obviously it's not Biohazard, but I'm not sure. It's whatever. There is a Mega Drive game. It's a twin stick shooter that also came out on many other platforms. I think Dreamcast and Neo Geo and whatever. I have it. I have it on my GOG thing. I can take a look at Xenocrisis. Sorry, it has nothing to do with what I said before. It's not okay. Xenocrisis. It's a good game. It's a Mega Drive game, but it's a good game. It's also just native on PC. If you want to buy it that way, it has many different ports. It's a good game. It's like it's worth playing. Even Tensor, I found it to be a pretty decent game. No, it's too expensive with the cartridge for what it is. And there are good Mega Drive games being made still. So, but again, all these YouTubers, they don't give a fuck. A new game comes out for the NES, they play it for 5 minutes, they say it's a great game, they tell you to buy it. It's mostly garbage though. So just their YouTube can't help you there, right? You have to find out whether these games are good or not by looking at the reviews on the Steam page, on the itch.io page, or I don't know, talking to people on Discord or something like that. Not going to Metal Jesus. That's what I mean, right? Like YouTube is dead. It's dead. Like that, I can't go to YouTube anymore to watch a review of a game to know whether the game is good or not, because it's just there are no actual reviews anymore on YouTube. It's all just garbage shilling. So, but there are good games. There are good games. You just have to know how to find them outside of YouTube, and then none of these problems actually affect you in any way because there's always going to be someone willing to make a good game. And even if there isn't anyone willing to make a good game, there are all these good old games that you can play on your toaster. You can play them on your Raspberry Pi. You can play them. I've talked about Mr. Exhaustion because it's a very good way to play these games. But depending on what your needs are, depending on what you like, and any other solution might be a great solution too, right? Once you're a casual player and you're not like really searching for a highest score in searching in certain games or playing very difficult games that are, you know require very fast responses, you can play with lag too. It's gonna be fine. You can play an RPG even with very garbage lag, like 10 frames of some lag or something. It's still gonna be fine. Total lag, I mean, not added lag. Or even just if you're playing a game that's even an action game, an action RPG or something like that, but you don't need quick responses, you can also play that with a couple extra frames of lag from a Raspberry Pi or something, and you're gonna be fine. It's not the end of the world. It's just that it exists. You have to see for yourself, right? So yeah, all these all this nonsense nowadays, right? People are nowadays we're paying $700 for a scaler. You know, good for the guy that he made the scaler. I think it's great that the there is something out there for the people who want that. But that's the kind of thing that you should be buying if you're a millionaire and you don't know what to do with your money, right? You've got so much money in the bank and so much of everything that you don't know what to do with your money anymore. Then you go buy something like that because what is the need of something like that? Obviously there is no need for something like that, but it's just spending money on stuff, on random stuff for no reason is the hobby itself, isn't it? Okay, this video went way off rails, but you guys don't fear, don't fear. Intellivision Amico is still coming sometime before 2024 holidays, okay? Don't worry, 2024 is the year of Amico, and if it's not, it's gonna be 2025 or 2026. As long as you keep giving them money, they're never gonna go away. So keep giving them money so this guy we can keep making these videos in and out for decades. I'll be 80 years old. All these guys will be dead, and their children are going to be around saying that Intellivision Amico is going to be freaking coming out 2070 or something like that. 20 something. I didn't even calculate how what year I'll be making 80. Okay, okay. That's that video that I had for you today. Bye, guys.